Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, and I'm just checking in on you. Seeing how your week's going. How you guys doing? I am in a great mood. Woo! I'm in an awesome mood. Huh? You in a bad mood? You're driving in your car there. You're stuck in traffic. Is there some douche in front of you? Huh? Not doing what you want him to do. Are you having little dictator thoughts? Are you thinking about what you would do if you were in power? What you would do with this person? What rule you would implement? You know, it's got to be awesome being a dictator. You know what I mean? How much fun is it on the 4th of July to shoot off fireworks? Can you imagine how much fun that fatty over in North Korea is having? You know, how hard did they fucking laugh when they shot that one over Japan? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, how the fuck did everybody had to go to bed after that? Then he's just laying in bed so fucking amped up. Like, I can't believe we just did that, man. That was crazy. We just freaked out a whole country. Calling each other up. Dude, the whole world's talking about us, man. What a fucking lunatic. What if there was a malfunction on that fucking thing and it landed? That guy, I'm telling you, man, he's got to lay off the fucking sweets. All that sugar is just, it's not doing him good. He's not making sound decisions. Thank God we have such a level-headed guy on our side. Oh, my God. You know, watching The Dead Zone was always scary, watching the Martin Sheen character get into power, but I think to go back and watch it now is going to be just picturing Donald Trump going, "The birds are away, gentlemen," and doing that little thing he does where he puts his index finger and his thumb together, and his other three fingers are in the air. The birds are away. The greatest birds ever. Yeah, Jesus Christ, all this fucking end of days shit, talking about these goddamn tornadoes one after another. You know, like some battle royal of fucking weather. I did Rogan's show last night. There's nothing worse than hanging out with somebody who's fucking informed. He starts telling me, this thing was forming out over the Atlantic. They've never seen anything like this. This is the size of fucking Florida. Hey, Bill, how much time do you want to do tonight? I was in a fucking panic. He was like laughing at me going, look at Bill's face. Look at Bill's face. It's like, Joe, what look am I supposed to have on my face when you basically said, you know, everything, you had everything but Jesus fucking crowd surfing in on that fucking thing. Not to mention, I'm going to Mississippi and Alabama this weekend. Mississippi, Alabama, the heart of the SEC. I'm going to tell you something right now. As a fucking northern white boy Yankee, I fucking love Mississippi and Alabama. I love that whole fucking stretch of the South, how they all shit on each other, and then it somehow lands in Louisiana's lap, right? You're in Georgia, and all they do is make fun of Alabama, right? Alabama's like, fuck Georgia. Hey, at least we're not Mississippi. And Mississippi's like, what the fuck do you want from us? Huh? Why don't you go to Shreveport? Tell me how you fucking enjoy that. What you go on over there to Freeze? They don't know how to cook no catfish. I love it down there. Granted, I'm fucking white, you know, and even if the Klan started marching, you know, and I got all fucking nervous, I could fake my way through it. You know, give them a nod, you know, and slip into a store real quick. Anyways, I don't know if I mentioned this the other day. I started playing catch again. You know, something I used to do as a kid. Good, clean fun. You just need a glove, a ball, and a friend, or maybe a baseball kid. Baseball kid. And it's just been a good time. This is how old I am. I did 45 minutes of cardio, and I guess I didn't stretch. I thought I stretched. And I went out there, and old Billy fucking Oldface does not have the range of motion he used to have. And my buddy threw the ball, and it bounced in front of me, and it just sort of was skidding along the ground. And I bent down to get it. I anticipated it was going to hop. I don't know what I was doing, or I just didn't get down far enough, and it went right by my glove and hit right in my left ghost white calf. And it only hurt as much as it should have hurt. Like a baseball, however fast it was traveling. I mean, it hit the ground, it slowed down a little bit, made that nice sound against my alabaster shit, right? Then I thought I was fine, and within like 3 throws, my calf just fucking tightened up like you couldn't believe. And for the last 3 days, it's felt like it's on fire. All right? Like, if you thought of if they were going to do a documentary on my calf, they would go to Van Halen 1, and they would take that clip from David Lee Roth singing I'm on fire. It's been fucking killing me. So I got to have, I don't know, I got to have somebody fucking work it out, but my buddy gave me this shit. This is a free advertisement. This is how fucking good these guys are. It's called Arnicare Gel. You ever heard of this stuff? It's homeopathic. What'd you call me? Homeopathic medicine. Arnicare. It's for muscle pain and stiffness, swelling from injuries and bruising. I get pain relief. This shit, I'm telling you, it's fucking magic. I put this stuff on. I felt like I was bionic, you know? Like in that you could just fix me like a machine. One of those fucking Moonraker movies, Blade Runner, whatever the fuck it is. Like they would just open my calf and it looked like the inside of a fucking mixer. I just felt like that thing just soldered a couple wires together. I mean, it didn't cure me. I mean, I definitely feel like, now I just feel like I got hit with a golf ball rather than a baseball. At the end of a drive. I'm not saying right off the tee. Let's not get crazy here, okay? Let's not get crazy. So anyways, that's the free thing. I'll tell you right now, if you fucking ever do something before you go to a masseuse and have them fucking unglue your muscles and get all that schmutz out of there, as my person says, Arnicare Gel, A-R-N-I, care, Arnie Care, like Arnold Palmer, except it's I, A-R-N-I. Well, Arnie's A-R-N-I-E, right? Yeah, why don't you confuse the people? So there you go. I had to do something free massage because I lost another advertiser. I can't believe it. I put my fucking heart and soul into these fucking reads. You know, I could go monotone. I could just read what they wrote. I could just do what they want. But you're not going to listen. And I know this. The show must go on, even if I'm reading fucking advertising. But those fucking cunts over there, the masseuse people, that was a one and done. How dare you bring up hand jobs at the end of the massage reads? What the fuck are you talking about? That's a huge part of your industry. Either you're doing it or you're not doing it. The fuck? It's like you're in food. You're selling some sort of food, and I bring up trans fat. Like that's not a big fucking issue. That is a hot button issue that needs to be brought up in front of Congress. And I stand by that. If you can legalize weed at a state level, you should be able to legalize a hand job at the state level. Okay? Now, if the feds come in and she's got your dick in her hand, you're on your own. All right? You're on your fucking own. You're Joe Pesci and Goodfellas. Oh, no. Right? That's it. That's it. All right? Ladies, it doesn't mean anything to us. It doesn't mean anything. If you ever saw the look on the woman's face when she's doing it, I mean, I swear to God. I swear to God. Like, it's just like I don't know. They're thinking of fucking zillion other things. Which is probably usually where you go. That's probably your safe place, when you're fucking employed in the sex industry. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. So because I brought that up, which was funny enough to make people listen, they walked away from all the fucking massages that my listeners would have got. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. A third of them would have been expecting some sort of hand release at the end of it. So maybe that's okay. I'll take that. Okay, I will take that part of it. All right? But I'm getting tired of the blue aprons, the nature boxes, they're all good when the sun's out. And the second they see a little bit of rough water, what do? They fucking pull up stakes, those fucking phony bastards, okay? And they take their aprons and their fucking twats and they go to somebody else's podcast. And I'll tell you right now, I've had enough of it. Doing my gosh darndest over here to try to put a little bit of money in your pocket, How many people do you think at that fucking massage place have actually gone to a massage parlor and gotten fucking jerked off? How many? You know what I mean? Fucking, jeez, don't get me fucking started, I got in the, my dog's back in town. Oh, Cleo! Was back in town. I just saw her. She fucking freaked out. We had a nice little battle royal. I took her for this awesome fucking hike Love that goddamn dog, and I love that she's got a great family now. Family Bag East. And she put on a little bit of weight. These new people, they're treating her right. But she looked awesome. And same old dog, dragging me down the street, all friggin' excited and that type of stuff. So it all worked out. Nice happy ending. She's got a little more white whiskers around her muzzle, becoming very distinguished and stately. These last couple of, I gave away almost a year ago. Fucking unbelievable. 9 months ago. 10 months ago? 9 months ago. Yeah, 9 months ago. So it was great to see her and everything. So she's in town for like 10 days. I'm leaving for a couple days, but that's what I do when she comes to town. I take her for a hike every morning. It's kind of been working out. I get to see her every couple of months, She's not around where she can eat my baby or attack somebody else, so she'll never get put down, and I won't have to deal with an unbelievable amount of guilt. And she's got a great house, and she's fatting up. It's fucking perfect. I love it. She's not fat, people. I'm just saying she is living a good life. Full of energy, still a ball of muscle, though. Good Lord, that's a strong dog. I still miss the hell out of her, but I definitely made the right decision. So, anyways, what's going on tonight? Oh, the Patriots. Ignore your fucking wife. Football season is back, baby! Ignore the Hurricanes. Sorry, just blew out yours. Ignore the Hurricanes. Ignore old fatty up there fucking. Doesn't that fucking guy in North Korea, doesn't he look like he's the same shape as like Curly from the fucking Three Stooges? I'd love to see him. They just reshot the old football sketch. Can somebody please do that? Just for sort of Photoshop in when the woo, 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 doing that thing where he does that running in place thing. Doing that whole thing. Just put his head on Curly's fucking body. That's what he is. He's Kim Jong Howard. How many times would I be put to death in that fucking country? I can't even fucking imagine. You got to go out swinging. You got to go out like a fucking, Saddam was a fucking brutal guy. But did you see how that guy went out? He was standing there. He's just staring them all in the eye. They put the rope around his neck. He's still talking shit. Yeah, go fuck yourself. It's fucking, and people always talk, dude, when you were in Philly, how did you handle that? Fuck that. Look at what Saddam handled. He was talking shit right until they fucking yanked that rope, or that lever or whatever. I would have been crying like a little girl going, I'm sorry, I impressed everybody, man. I'll sweep the streets, anything you want. That's how I would have gone out. Gone into the next world, and God would have just been looking at me, shaking his head. Of all the awful fucking things you did, I think your bitchy way you left was the worst. Get out of my sight. And he just pushes the button. I go down to hell. I go down to hell, and I burn forever. And that's a good fucking thing to bring up when you got two gigs coming up in Mississippi and Alabama. I'm going to tell you, you go down Mississippi, Alabama, those motherfuckers, they ain't got computers yet. They ain't got computers, but I'll tell you, they still eat. They'll still eat. I don't tell you, give them some clothesline, they'll catch catfish and dry your overalls, motherfuckers. They can live off the land. If what Rogan was telling me was even remotely true, him and Jimmy Dore are the two most informed fucking comedians I know. As far as they actually pay attention to shit. Somebody says some shit, and rather than just taking it as truth, they actually will fucking research it. They'll have guests on their show. I cannot recommend their podcasts and Joe's podcast and Jimmy Dore's YouTube show highly enough. And you don't always have to fucking agree with them. But I'll tell you right now. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you're fucking watching CNN and if you're watching Fox News and shit, I mean, that's, those people, okay, I'm going to, no offense to other comedians, but they're definitely more well-spoken than a lot of us. But, I'm just saying. There is a whole, just look at how they read the ads on those channels. And then exactly, like, they're stuck between the lines, man. I don't know what I'm talking about. Fuck, that reminded me of something. Now I just forgot it. What the hell was it? Something I wanted to talk about. Not news. Not being between the lines. Fuck it, it's over. So anyways, I am going to One of my favorite things, and I don't have any favorite things in Mississippi yet because I've only been there two times. One time I was driving up to the airport after I watched the Patriots beat the Rams in the Super Bowl, and I just couldn't get a flight into fucking New Orleans, so we flew in and out of fucking Baton Rouge, Mississippi. I'm kidding. Jackson, Mississippi, and then I did a gig there a few years ago. So I don't know a lot about it, but Alabama, I'll tell you something what I love about Alabama. I love first of all, I'm going to the Alabama game, by the way, on Saturday. Alabama, the dream ends this afternoon. It's an afternoon game against mighty Fresno State. They can surprise some people. So I'm going to go there. I'm not going to be a cunt and root against Alabama. I really don't hate the Crimson Tide. It's just that they are the Yankees or the Patriots of they're the ones that always fucking, are winning, right? So, Yankees, they've won enough, even though they haven't won since 2009. They're still the fucking Yankees. They're sitting on 27. You know what I mean? I just couldn't become a college fan and jump on their bandwagon. Like, if I was watching the NFL, I would fucking root against the Patriots, too. That's what you do just what you do. It's what you do. You don't just jump on the fucking big bandwagon like Roger Clemens when he joined the Yankees after they'd already won fucking 3. I would say, that's why I root against them. So when I go there, I'm not going to be a cunt. I'm going to root for Alabama. But there's a major part of me that wants to bet Fresno State and just start the game up like, it's 57-0. But you know what it is? Nick Saban has an intensity / anger / an ability, I'm telling you, to drown a puppy that I just know that even his second string is just going to keep, running up the points because they don't want to deal with it in practice. That they didn't score another fucking 30 points against Fresno's number 1. I don't know anything about Fresno State. I'm not trying to disrespect Fresno. Okay? Now, if you're like me and you watch any sort of basic cable stuff about gangs or prisons or anything, they always, the second they start one of those shows, you can literally turn over an hourglass of sand and it's not going to make it halfway through before they end up in Fresno. And then there's always that guy, with the bandana all the way up to under his eyes, bandana on his head, and then the dark sunglasses, and they have his voice altered, and he's like, "Yo, Fresno, you done bust a cap in your ass. You motherfucker, you gonna fuck with me, I'm gonna bust a cap in your ass." You can't even understand a word they're saying, right? I shot 4 motherfuckers this morning. And that's because my eggs were cold. So I'm not trying to fuck with Fresno. All right? Everybody knows that fucking stretch between L.A. and San Francisco, you don't know what the fuck goes on out there. Charlie Manson lives somewhere up there. All right? There's a nice national park. There's a bunch of people growing food. But other than that, I don't know what goes on. Other than it's really hot and a lot of people get crap on me. So I don't have any fun. I'm not trying to fucking shit on Fresno, okay? I'm just a pasty, freckled guy trying to go to a football game. So I'm working with Del Rey and fucking Joe Bartnick, the Rose Bowl tailgate legend. And we're doing a gig at some casino in Mississippi. And then we're in Alabama. And when I go to Alabama, I got a place I like to eat every time I go there. First time I went there, I can't remember how I found out about it, but I'll go there every fucking time. Saw's Barbecue. Stands for Smart Ass Wilson's. I always go there. They have a mayonnaise-based barbecue sauce. Swear to God, it's white. You're like, there's no way that's going to taste good. You eat it, you're like, Jesus Christ, that's fucking delicious. Jesus Christ, is that delicious. So that's a good time. I'm actually thinking of coming back again next year. I'm going to do a quick gig here, and then I think I'm going to come back next year, do a little bit of a bigger show. And next year, I'm going to go to Talladega. I went to Daytona 500. I'm going to go to Talladega next. I got to go to that, man. I used to always watch that with Harry Gann. Skull Bandit, Carl Keel, Yarborough. What's his face? Rusty Wallace. Daryl Hawaltrip. Who else was fucking running back then? Richard Petty was winding down. I told you that. I used to buy all the fucking model cars. I'd build them and put the stickers on them and shit. I used to always skip the engine because I just wanted to get to the fucking car part. And I wouldn't let it dry, and I wouldn't let the paint dry. I was just too fucking... They always came out like shit. There was glue all over the place because I was just too impatient. You know? I wish I could buy one of those models again and actually just take the time to see if I could do it right. Like, the people who really did it right, they would paint all the parts before they even took it off that plastic grid, and they would let it dry for like a day. And then they would just slowly put the whole fucking thing together, and it was a fucking work of art. I would never do that. I was all, you know. You know what was the worst was when you remember the decals and you'd soak them in the warm water, then they'd all start coming off, and you were like, fuck, and they would roll up, and they'd all look like shit. They'd be put on like an angle, you know. Then you had like the older guys, right, and they had a little thing of like pair of tweezers. All right, they'd have a pair of tweezers and their little fucking, you know, jeweler glasses on. They put it on and it would look unbelievable. And I always wish I had the patience to do that. And I don't. And that's why stand-up comedy has been the only thing that I was ever good at, was because it is just going up there and just fucking letting your ADD go. And I kind of learned something this week in a frustrating way trying to learn drums. And it's just like, dude, you have to fucking sit down. And if you want to learn something, you have to take a big breath, you have to relax, and you have to start really slow. And I've known this for fucking years. I've seen everybody talk about it. Some of the most monster players ever talk about how slow they start a new idea. But the whole thing is, you know, with all this information on the internet, you could be like, well, what BPMs is this song? It's 115, and then you're just thinking, I gotta get it at 115. And so you start playing at like 95 when you should be at like 65. So that's my new shit. I gotta fucking relax. I gotta pick like one or two things and just stick with that for a while. Just like how you would with the model, right? Just leave those pieces on there, paint the fucking thing, and walk away. Just let it dry. So, anyways, I know I'm a fucking mess here. I'm all over the goddamn map. 22 minutes of fucking talking shit. All right, we got 6 reads here, people. You know, these fucking reads, like these advertisers, this is becoming like a special forces, you know, or a fucking some sort of military operation here. It's like, you know, most of you will not be coming back. All right, Private Pile Infantry, you made it. All right, DraftKings, everybody. Oh, is this the perfect read for tonight or what? Fantasy football season is finally fucking here. And there's no better way to get closer to the game you love with DraftKings 1 week fantasy fucking football. DraftKings is hosting a $100,000 50 grand after taxes contest this Sunday that is totally free to enter. And if you draft the perfect lineup, you can win $1 billion. In other words, the odds of you doing that is fucking, you know, I don't know what. It's pretty fucking difficult. It's the odds of them of actually taking your junk and making it into a perfect pussy. You know, we're not there yet. Okay? But it doesn't stop these brave fucking people from still trying. With DraftKings, there are many ways to play. Choose between public contests with big cash prizes or private contests where you can compete against a group of your friends. DraftKings also has a beginner and casual contests where you'll play against people. I have to get glasses. Where you'll play against people of a similar skill level. Everybody gets a ribbon. The best part is you get to draft a new team each week without any commitment. Where is this going? Nowhere, bitch. So, to get DraftKings.com now and use promo code Burr. Use promo code Burr to play in the DraftKings free contest with $100,000 in total prizes this Sunday. And if you draft the perfect lineup, you can win $1 billion. $1 billion. Do you realize that what that is? Do you have that's enough to buy like, I don't know, I would say like $706 million mans. You could make 700 Steve Austins and still have some money left over to put on a gift certificate. Use my promo code Burr to play for free this Sunday. That's promo code Burr, B-U-R-R, at DraftKings.com. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Eligibility restriction. That means their own employees probably can't play, I would think. All right. Oh, shit. Look. Oh, snap. Look who's back. 5-4 Club. Looking good doesn't have to cost a fortune. 5-4 Club is revolutionizing the way men shop at 5-4 Club. Geez, I've never found a thing that says their name more than these people. They found a way to make great-looking clothes affordable for everyone. Who? 5-4 Club also understands that your time is extremely valuable. Why waste it at the mall or wandering around in the stores? Each month, they send you a curated, everybody curates now, curated box of 2 to 3 items that are hand-picked from the finest vine of shirt trees to match the current season and your style. What's their name again? 5-4 Club. Partners with cutting-edge designers and brands so you'll get the same quality as top designer clothes for way less. They've been helping men with fashion for over 15 years and ship to over $100,000 men every month. Chris Paul and Mark Wahlberg use 5-4 Club. And 5-4 is featured in GQ, Vice, and InStyle, among other publications. They know what they're doing, so if you don't, that's okay. Why? Because 5-4 Club will help you build your wardrobe 1 month at a time. Jesus Christ, how many more times are they going to say their name? You get $120 worth of clothes for just $60 a month. You can pause or cancel anytime. No commitments. I said nowhere, bitch. And as a 5-4 Club member, 5-4 Club, baby. Remember, you'll also receive up to 50% off items in their online shop and access to exclusive members only, not the jacket, items, free shipping, and size exchanges. Go to 5-4 Club. .com right now and enter promo code Burr, and they'll give you 50% off your first month's package plus a free pair of sunglasses. Everything is so much crisper and clearer. That's 50% off your first package at 5-4 Club, spelled F as in 5, I as in Ive, V-E, FO, F-O-U-R. The numbers, 54club.com, C-L-U-B.com. Promo code Burr, 54club.com, promo code Burr. That's it. All right. Oh, Lyft, everybody. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look who's back. It's Lyft. You know what Lyft knows? They know that their drivers are what keeps them moving. Well, that's what the fuck you do. Do you know what Coke knows? If you're thirsty. So they do everything they can do to make sure their drivers are happy on every trip. Lyft is the ride-sharing company that believes in treating its people better. Lyft believes that being a ride-sharer driver should be fun. If you're having a good time, so are their passengers. If you're choosing a ride-sharing company to drive for, go with the company that treats you better. Lyft was the first to offer in-app tipping. When you drive for Lyft, you keep 100% of the tips. Drivers get paid over $200 million in tips since the feature was introduced. Express Pay lets drivers get paid almost instantly instead of for weeks. Lyft has even taken the guesswork out of pickups. The new AMP device uses, isn't that app? Color coding to help passengers find their drivers. You can earn hundreds of dollars a week plus tips. Want to earn more money? Drive more. It's never been easier to give yourself a raise. It's a simple formula. Happy drivers mean happy passengers. Maybe that's why 9 out of 10 Lyft riders get a perfect 5-star rating. So join the ride-sharing company that believes in treating its people better. Go to Lyft.com/Burr today, and you'll get a $500 new driver bonus. That's Lyft.com/Burr. Lyft.com/Burr. Limited time only. Terms apply. Is that the new thing? You say your fucking name 50 times? Oh, this is the classic. This is the stairway to heaven of my advertising. Look who's back. It's old Zip. Talk about the challenge of finding great talent and or the importance of finding great talent to a successful business. I'll tell you right now, finding talent is easy, but to find great talent, well, that's really hard, especially if you want to be successful in business. I'm Bill Burr, and I approve of this message. How Zip is different with ZipRecruiter. You can post your job to 100-plus job sites with just one click. It's so easy. Then their powerful technology, efficiently matches the right people to your job. better than anyone else. That's why Zip is different. Unlike other job sites, Zip doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. In fact, 80% of employees who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within 1 day. No more juggling emails or calls to your fucking office. Simply screen and rate and manage candidates all in one place with ZipRecruiter's easy to use dashboard. Find out today why Zip has been used by businesses of all sizes to find the most qualified job candidates and immediate results. And right now, my listeners, plus any other fucking podcast they advertise on, can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. One more time. Hey! To try it for free, go to Zip.com/Burr. All right. Upside.com. Boy, you turn me inside out and go fuck yourself. There's a better way for you to buy business travel. It's called Upside Down. No, Upside.com. You turn me. Somebody finally told me how to sing that. Every time you buy a trip on Upside.com, you're turning me. You'll save your company a ton of money. And they give you an Amazon gift card worth hundreds of dollars. Upside's able to do this because they bundle your flights and hotels together for one low price. Bundling prices saves money. It's like having a threesome. It saves condom. Wait, is that still safe? It is for me. If you're a frequent business traveler, your company saves a ton of money, and you could get thousands a year in gift cards just for buying your air and hotel together at Upside.com. Plus, you'll still get all your miles. If you're shopping for business travel, you'd be crazy not to check out Upside.com. It takes just 3 minutes to see how much you can save by buying your flights and hotels together for one low price. And right now, when you use my name, Burr, you're guaranteed to get at least a $100 Amazon gift card your first trip. That's my name, Burr, B-U-R-R, to get at least a $100 Amazon gift card for free. Save big on travel and get a big gift card every trip. Evidently, I love Upside.com. Boy, you turn me. Upside.com, you're turning me. Minimum purchase required. See site for complete details. Hey, you know what I watched the other day? I watched an episode of TJ fucking Hooker. I will tell you this right now. The funniest running you will ever see in your life by William Shatner and his fucking partner. All they do is they're constant. They always have like a fucking wide shot, and they show TJ Hooker running he runs for like 6 seconds every shot. It's like, why? You know what it is? Is they had to fucking do an hour's 22 or I forget what a full season was back then, but like 22 episodes of an hour-long show. That's 22 hours of television. Well, actually, with the commercials, 8 minutes per half hour, 44 minutes. They had to write 44 minutes of fucking shit times 22. I mean, it's like, well, we came up short again. Well, just have William Shatner run a little longer. Can TJ Hooker run half the length of a football field before he catches up to somebody a third of his fucking age? I saw the one. I got to get this actor's name. He was one of my favorite actors when I was growing up. He was in Colors. He was a Latino dude. He got hit by a drunk driver. Unfortunately, he was like 37 to 38 years old. Hang on, I got to get this guy's name. Let's see, Colors, IMDb. I didn't know Don Cheadle was in that movie. I got to watch that again. That had to be one of his earliest ones. I am a nightmare walking. It's something Silva, I believe. Trinidad Silva. So he was in this episode of T.J. Hooker, and it was fucking hilarious because all of a sudden T.J. Hooker, when he's talking to him, would throw in some fucking Latino words, and it was only like shit that let white people know, like que pasa, fucking agua. He said at one point, well, maybe if you stop acting like a polo, like he threw in like chicken. And it's just like, yeah, that's because the writing staff ordered El Polo Loco that day. But Trinidad Silva, I believe he was in The Jerk. I think he was in well, you know what? When I look up this guy was amazing. He was in Hill Street Blues. He was in The Jerk. Yeah, he actually died during the filming of underrated movie by Weird Al Yankovic called UHF. He was in Colors. Hill Street Blues. Stir Crazy. He died so young. He was on Barney Miller. I mean, this guy, Lou Grant, The White Shadow, The Jerk. This guy's IMDb page, Beretta. You know, granted, he probably played a perp in all of those fucking things. He was probably fixing games on The White Shadow. That's the way it was back then. And this guy somehow got through it and opened the doors for a bunch of other people. I hadn't seen him in a while. It was great to see him. Trinidad Silva, look him up. 1950 to 1988. Unfortunately, he was only 38 years old. Jesus Christ. Phenomenal actor, though. All right, LegalZoom. Last one here. LegalZoom, when you run your own business, when you know that time equals money, it's not just an old saying, it's a fact. So why waste your valuable time dealing with an issue that LegalZoom can help you with? I'm doing this because I'm going to Mississippi and Alabama this weekend. You may already know, put your hands in the air and feel the spirit of Jesus. That over 2 million people have used LegalZoom to start their business, but LegalZoom's services don't end there. There's a kingdom waiting for you after you hit their fucking website. Running a business comes with taxes, contracts, hiring employees, and the devil. Basically, a lot of fine print. And we all know that the devil's in the details. Sorry. That's why LegalZoom built a network of independent attorneys licensed in all 50 states. Not in Puerto Rico, not in our territories, just the 50 states. They can provide the advice you need to get through the daily grind of running your business. By the way, everybody in Puerto Rico, I hope you make it through this storm. Good Lord. Good Lord, man. Rogan scared the shit out of me. I live in fucking L.A. I can't imagine what these poor people are doing out there. And you don't have to worry about billable hours since LegalZoom isn't a law firm. Instead, you can count on upfront pricing and clarity. Call to action. Invest your time and money in growing your business and let LegalZoom help you out with legal stuff. For special savings, be sure to enter promo code Burr, B-U-R-R, in the referral box at checkout. That's promo code Burr for special savings only at LegalZoom.com. Hi, LegalZoom.com. All right, I think that's the podcast for this week. I'm going to go play some drums in a very relaxed... No, actually, I'm not. I got to go write an episode. Episode 309. Of season 3 of F is for Family. This week we're working on episode 7. So you not in the business. The reason why it's called 309, the 3 means season 3. I never knew what that meant. I finally figured it out after 3 seasons. I remember last year, it's like, we're working on 204, and I'd be sitting in the back of the room like, we're not on the 204th episode. But I knew that sounded stupid, so I finally just asked, and I felt it. I felt all the writers looking at me like, why is this hacky comedian in this fucking room? And it hurts. No, I'm kidding. I work with great people, in case any of them are listening. And if you're the one person in the writer's room listening, you're my favorite writer in the room. So I'm writing episode 309. That's what I have to do today. I do 2 scenes a day. And then I get through the script, and then I do like 3 or 4 passes. I didn't do that last year, but this year I'm going to do it. And then I bring it in, and then everybody just guts the thing, and maybe like 3 jokes make it. But, it's all about making that template, and that's the game that everybody fucking plays. All right? So that's the podcast. Let's go, Pats! Start the fucking year off right. Who's going to step into Edelman's shoes before he comes back for the wonderful playoff run? Okay, I hope he doesn't come back too soon. Do you know why Edelman got hurt? That was the curse of the nude ESPN magazine issue. You know what I mean? I can't remember the last time I laughed harder than watching him jump through the air, catch a ball, and have it over his junk as he flew through the air. That was one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. I just don't understand how a woman, I don't know, maybe, I guess, whatever. I just don't understand how any level that is anything other than fucking hilarious. Naked men were just funny. I used to do a bit in my act saying the naked man is one of two things. It's either funny or scary, depending on what's happening. Like if you're at a game and a naked guy runs across the fucking field, I mean, you're fucking on the ground laughing. However, if you're walking home late at night and a naked guy jumps out of a bush like, that's the scariest fucking thing you'll ever see. Right? I'd rather see a fucking rattlesnake, you know? I would rather see that, and I'm terrified of fucking snakes, okay, than to have some fucking naked guy jump out of a fucking bush. I probably should have just given out that information, all right? Anyways, dude, let's troll them. Anyways, all right, that's the podcast for this Thursday. Have a great weekend, you cunts. Enjoy the football game tonight, the college football this weekend. Maybe tune into Alabama, Fresno State. I will be there. And thank you to everybody in Mississippi and Alabama for buying the tickets. I'm going to come out there with my Yankee bullshit and telling you guys once again why you lost that war. All right, enjoy the music here, and we're going to have another half hour of stuff from a classic podcast from a Thursday gone by in a year that already happened or possibly earlier this year. I don't know what it is. All right, that's it.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and this is the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, September 7th, 2009. Happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. What are you guys doing today, huh? With your big bad days off? What are you doing? You laying around? You becoming fat fucks? What are you doing? You barbecuing? We're going over to Carol's. And we're going to have a barbecue. You want to come, Steven? No, I don't. I want to fucking drink and forget that I married you, Carol. Sorry. I'm moving some shit around right now. This is the Monday Morning Podcast. I almost said Codpast. Podcast. I'm actually going to try to do something different this week because it's such a special fucking holiday because it is Labor Day. Why do they call it Labor Day when no one has to work? Sorry. I always have to do a tribute to fucking 80s comedy. I'm actually watching I watched too much sports this weekend, and I just was watching the end of the Colorado State football game, and right after it, I taped Best Damn Tough Man, because the game always goes longer than it's allotted, so you have to tape the next show. Listen to this fucking spaz. He goes by the name of the coach. This is the classic example of a scared guy before a fight, and he's trying to turn that fear into like some sort of fucking courage. But it works. This guy goes by the coach. This is hilarious. They're actually showing him right now. He's getting his gloves put on. Listen to this maniac.
Showtime, baby. It's showtime, baby. That's right. You gotta get fucked up if you want to kick some ass.
I don't know if you can hear that. But basically he's standing there and he just goes like, it's showtime. And then he just snaps, it's showtime! He just I'm sorry. I don't even know if this is even going to translate, but I got to get the rest of this shit here. I got to get the other thing that he fucking says here. What the fuck is wrong with this stupid piece of shit fucking goddamn cable? Anybody else have this fucking problem with your cable?
All right, now to this, I'm going to make this really
Did I just delete it? You fucking cunt. All right, whatever. God damn it. That was going to be that was like my big fucking different beginning that I was just going to have there, and I just ended up deleting it because my fucking cable sucks. What are you going to do? It's a holiday, right? I shouldn't even be doing this. So anyway, so the next time they come to him, he's screaming some more. So he goes out there, and of course he doesn't know how to fight. He's flailing around with this dude, and in the end, he gets knocked on his ass and he loses. So basically every time they show the guy, he would say the first little thing he would say quietly, and then he would just completely flip out. I can't fucking believe I deleted that. What an asshole. So whatever, the guy ends up losing. In the end of the fight, he goes, I'm ready for some more. I ain't even bleeding yet. And then he just snapped, I ain't bleeding yet. Oh, fuck. I don't know what sport that guy coaches, but if I was playing on his team, I would run through a fucking wall for that guy. I don't know. It all depends. Depends on your personality. I like maniacs like that. God damn it. What? I can't believe that fuck. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. You know what's the worst? It was not only bad enough if I had to try and rewind it and get back to where the hell it was, but then it comes up with the delete thing and I accidentally deleted it. I'm sorry, everybody. Fuck. Where the hell do you go from here? It's Labor Day. What exactly are you supposed to do on Labor Day? Am I supposed to observe something for all the people who died at work? Do they have a little parade? Do you guys like parades? Those little pathetic things with the mediocrely talented people of your town march down your fucking street. Isn't that the worst when you come from a small town? It's just a numbers game. I mean, how many truly fucking talented people can there be? But somehow they still have to put together a band. Some chick with braces playing a fucking flute, marching down the street, and then they always end it with like a fire engine, just trying to drown out your bad local band. Or everybody's singing in monotone, a bunch of dentists and accountants sitting there with their fucking weird-ass looking kids. God bless America. Do they do that today? Is that what you're supposed to do? Am I supposed to be dressed up like it's the Revolutionary War, reenacting something? I got to be honest with you. Labor Day feels like every other fucking day to me because I'm a comedian. And I'm always sitting in my underwear at fucking 12 noon. All right? That's why I do this. Do you think I want to make you fucking people laugh? I don't. I just remember when I was 14, sitting in my underwear eating toast one day on a Saturday morning, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be fucking great if I could do this every day? Wake up, watch cartoons, wrestle with my fucking dog, and just have absolutely no responsibility whatsoever. And I got to tell you something. I made that dream come true. Ever get worried when you die, God's just going to be looking at the video of your life, just looking at it, then kind of glancing over at you and just shaking his head. Really? You get one shot at this, and this is what you did? Do you realize that you spent over 98,000 hours of your life in your underwear? And I'm not even counting when you were fucking sleeping. Oh, speaking of that, the other day, I'm still on, sorry, Nia just walked by laughing at me like I'm an idiot. I'm still on European time. Today was the first day I actually got up at 9 o'clock. I have been, when I was over in Sweden, how did you feel about that? When I was over in Sweden last week, Cleo, what are you doing? You stop walking around like a creep. My dog is like most big dogs. She doesn't realize how big she is, and but she's not afraid of a lot of things. She's not afraid of other dogs, but hardwood floors scare the shit out of her. So she's so worried that she's going to be slipping. She walks like really slowly and daintily all around the apartment, and it looks like she's going to like sneak up on you or something. That's right. Just lay down. All right? Cleo! I got to teach her how to howl. Oh, you guys want to see something fucking adorable? Do you want to see something that will make you actually believe again in whatever the fuck you stop believing in? Go on YouTube and search Boxer, Boxer, and baby. And there's a little baby playing with a boxer, and I'm telling you, it's one of the most adorable things you'll ever see. There would be less violence in the world if everybody watched this video. Actually, that's not true. Everyone would watch the video, and then the second somebody next to you went, ah, the rage would come back, and you'd want to just fucking blast them in the face. But whatever. I digress. Let me get back to what I was talking about. So I have been, when I was over in Sweden, I was up all night. And then I would sleep all day, like that awful heavy metal song by that band, Slaughter. Remember that? That's when you knew it was over. Everybody said it was over when fucking Nirvana came out. No, it wasn't. It was over when Slaughter came out. Slaughter slaughtered the rest of hair metal. That awful guy's voice. Up all night, sleep all day, that's right. No, it isn't right. It isn't. It's fucking terrible. Anyways, I'm plowing ahead here. So I finally got used to the time over in Sweden, and then I came back to the States here, and now I'm on Sweden time. So basically, I have been up every fucking night watching old football clips and whatnot on the internet. And I like how you guys all sent me emails going, I swear to God, I don't work for the NFL, man. Just tell me where I can see them. Where do you see all the videos? Where is the main site where everybody watches videos? That's where the fuck they are, okay? It rhymes with moo lube. Anyways, so that's what I've been doing late at night. I've been watching these fucking videos, and what am I trying to say here? I don't know what happened. So I fall asleep at about 6:30 in the morning. I sleep until 1 in the afternoon. That's what has been happening to me. I feel like a fucking drug addict, right? So evidently yesterday, I was passed out, and for some reason, I was in the nude. All right? Go ahead. Visualize that one. Face down in the fucking nude, and my girlfriend took a picture of me because she thought it was funny, and I saw it, and I don't know. I never really had... Look, I never thought I was a good-looking guy, but I thought I was all right. I saw myself laying there, butt-ass naked, and I gotta admit, dude, I look like a fucking cadaver. That was the worst part. It's not that I looked out of shape. I'm in decent shape. I just look like somebody just had fished me out of a river. That's the only way I could describe it. The only thing missing was Bill Curtis's voice just narrating. I'm Bill Curtis. A pasty, freckly man was fished out of Fuckhead River the other day. This sleepy little town with their... What the fuck? I was going to say Memorial Day. What the fuck is it? Labor Day parade. A stupid cunt with braces playing a flute. It looks perfect. And Doc's looking at me right now going, you do not sound like Bill Curtis. Whatever. I fucking looked like I was dead, so I deleted the picture. And then my girlfriend felt bad. She goes, I thought it was cute. I didn't want to make you self-conscious. I thought it was cute. It wasn't cute. No one should see what they look like face down naked. I can't shake the image. I hope you guys aren't having your traditional Labor Day breakfast while you're visualizing that. Jesus Christ, look at that Rosetta Stone. Remember I was going to learn how to speak Spanish? Don't you hate when you do that? When you're like, I'm going to learn how to do this shit. And you buy something and you just stick it on your bookshelf. And it's just sitting there mocking your laziness for the next 9 months. I got that for Christmas last year. And I cannot fucking say anything in Spanish. You know what I'm really going to do? I'm just going to go down to Home Depot and I'm going to find one of those Mexican dudes who are always asking me if they can fucking rewire my entire apartment for fucking $3 because they're the hardest working fucking people on the planet. And I'm just going to be like, look, dude, why don't I just give you $20 and teach you, and you just teach me how to speak Spanish. Is that okay? And then, of course, it'd be like, I want you to teach me how to speak. I don't know what you're saying. We just sit there for fucking an hour, and then after a while, my forehead would be sunburned, and I would just give up. That's probably what would happen. Or who knows? Maybe I would actually make a friend down there. And maybe he was really good at an instrument and he was slightly retarded, and then I would draw that talent out. And then someday Freddie Prinze Jr. would have a comeback playing that dude, and we could make a little Oscar-winning movie. Maybe that could happen. All right, let's plow ahead. Let's actually be smart this week. And rather than waiting till 50 minutes into this podcast to hype what the fuck I have to hype, why don't I hype what I have to hype right fucking now? Okay, well, I'm going to do that. Of course, the second I say it, my fucking computer shuts down. All right, hang on a second. All right, this week, I am going to be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the Helium Comedy Club, September 10th, 11th, and 12th. For the love of God, please come out to that show. Please show up. And I got a brand new hour, at least, since the last time I've been there, because I haven't been there in like a year and a half. And that's plenty of time for me to come up with some new shit. So please come down there. I'm actually going to try to go to a Phillies game, check out that new stadium. And what else am I going to do there? I think that's it. You know what? Somebody actually sent me an email, because last week I was telling you guys about how you can watch those Super Bowls. Cleo, would you just take a confident step in the apartment? Jesus Christ, you would think there were landmines under the floor. The dog has never fallen down. That's the funny thing. I could see if she fell down the first day she was here, and then she'd have this, oh my God. She's never fallen down. I know, it's just pathetic to see a scared pit bull, isn't it? Anyway, so this guy actually told me about if you're into hockey, I don't know why I just said it that way. If you're into hockey, there's actually a fucking website, if I can find it, where I was watching the 1974 Stanley Cup Finals, like Game 6. I'd never seen it, and I was watching the Bruins versus the Flyers. Of course, the Flyers probably win that fucking game because I know they won the series. And you have to go to, this is it right here. This is for the sports fans out there. It's hfboards, BOARDS.com / actually, you know what? Just go to that, hboards.com, and just go to that and just start searching for some games. And they have all the original games in their entirety. And if you are a big sports fan like I am, it's great to watch those because you can watch how the game has changed and all that type of stuff. I gotta be honest with you, man, I had like the greatest fucking weekend ever where, just because college football started, and I don't know what happened, like two years ago I became a college football fucking maniac. And I absolutely love it. And I was actually, once again, sleeping until noon, which is fucking like 3 o'clock East Coast time. So I missed like most of the first games, I think. I think I was like missed like the first 3 quarters of the first game. So I wake up. My girl actually she had made some breakfast. She actually brings it into me. I have breakfast in bed, and I walk into the living room after I eat it. She just made me breakfast in bed, people. Okay? And she goes in to watch one of her reality shows, and I woke up, and after I ate the breakfast, I realized that I was missing all these college games, so I just stumbled into the living room, because when you're my age, you stumble for the first hour when you wake up, because for some reason your Achilles shrink up to the bottom of your ass, and your legs don't work right? So I stumbled in here, and I just took the remote from her. Usually I say, honey, would you mind if I just kind of... I didn't. I just fucking walked in and I put on the USC game. And she rightfully just looked down at the floor like, really? I just made you fucking steak and eggs and you fucking just come wandering in here? And then she just sort of walked out. And then I had to do that pathetic... when you want to apologize for something you just did, but you want to continue doing the thing that you're apologizing for. So rather than hitting pause, I kept watching the game, like yelling out the side of my mouth as she was walking away. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I just wanted to fucking... And I just continued to watch the game. And she gave me the silent treatment for the next 4 hours, which actually worked out good. I think I watched like 12 football games this weekend. I don't know why anybody gets the fucking NFL package. You don't need it. You can get all the college games you want for free. And the kids are young. They haven't blown out their knees. They're fucking maniacs. Nobody's holding out. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. It's getting hot in here because I have to close my goddamn windows because I curse too much when I do this. You know what? I have some more audio here. Let me take a sip of water like I'm Frank Sinatra in between fucking songs here. That ain't water. All right. You ever hear him say that? He makes a joke back then when it was funny that you were drinking booze on stage. I actually found another record. If you guys are actually big fans of my podcast, you know what sucks about this shit is I have to literally move my mixer and everything else. Listen to it hit the floor. See that? You hear that? There we go. God damn these fucking wires. I've been slowly but surely, and that's how you can never say I've been slowly. You always have to say but surely. You always say that like they go together. Sick and tired, slowly but surely. Suck my dick, lick my balls, it all goes together. All right, here we go. I've been basically buying my dad's record collection one album at a time. And this is one of the weirdest fucking albums my dad had as a kid. But because I was a kid and I didn't know any better, I loved it. Listen to this shit. This is basically the original, like, you know when you watch Austin Powers and they're kind of mocking the weird music of the 60s? This is basically why. This is called Persuasive Percussion, 1966. And in defense of the orchestra, I think that they were trying to demonstrate as many instruments as they possibly could, isolated, how good they sound in the newfound hi-fi stereo. So here we go. Listen to this shit. Any day now. Here come the horns. Huh? Is that the shit or what? You know, a lot of people, they say if they'd go back in a time machine that they would go back and try and stop Hitler. I wouldn't. I'd go back to this fucking recording session because I just want to see the looks on people's faces when they play that kind of music. I always picture Barney Rubble's face, you know, when he was playing the drums in that one Fred Flintstone episode. We got Barney Rubble looking for trouble. And he had, like, his eyes were all squinted. Like, that's, I just picture all these guys in, like, fucking those turtlenecks with the peace sign. Remember how Buddy Rich was dressing in, like, the early 70s when he was trying to act like he was still going to stay relevant with these new hip, kooky kids, but he was still playing big band music, and he would come out with, like, these plaid Johnny Carson fucking Hager slacks, a knitted turtleneck, and then he on the outside of the turtleneck, a little precursor to Eddie Murphy's pinky ring on the outside of his glove. He'd have his necklace outside the turtleneck with a peace sign, and it was all in like silver. I don't know. And he let his hair grow a little long, and he had that awful fucking toupee, you know. But he still was fucking fantastic. All right, was that worth the trip all the way over to my hi-fi stereo? Do you guys have a hi-fi? Huh? All right. Sorry about that. I'm a fucking nerd. So that's basically what I did all this weekend. I listened to bad records, and I was listening to and watching all these football games. And I got to admit, you got to watch these old football games because it is such bullshit nowadays, the way they don't let these fucking wide receivers, they can do whatever they want. You can't even cover the fucking receivers. Huh? Any Georgia Bulldog fans out there? How bad did you guys get fucked on that call? I'm not saying that you would have won the game, but that was definitely a pivotal fucking moment. This guy is going over the middle, the ball is thrown high, and the defensive back lays him out. That's football. And then, like, unnecessary roughness. Unnecessary roughness. That roughness was unnecessary. It was fucking pathetic. What do you mean unnecessary? I'm doing my fucking job. If you want to see how far football has changed, go, fuck it, who gives a shit? Go onto YouTube and just fucking search 1978 AFC Championship game, Steelers versus the Houston Oilers, and watch part 4. Go all the way to the end. You're going to see Mike Barber goes over the middle. Dan Pastorini, the fucking douchebag, throws it like 9 feet over his head. But Mike Barber's a gamer, right? So he goes up for the thing. Mike Wagner comes in, doesn't even look at the ball, and just fucking goes as low as he possibly can. Hits Mike Barber right on his goddamn knees. You ever see a guy on YouTube, you ever watch a guy like slam into a fence doing 80 miles an hour on a fucking motorcycle? And that way, you know, you just launch. It's like you're standing up in the air, but you're doing flips, head over heels. That's what he did. He flipped around like twice, landed on this AstroTurf, and he's holding his fucking knee and flipping out. And, you know, he's on the ground for like 5 minutes. When he gets up, he's pointing at Mike Wagner, you motherfucker, you cheap motherfucker, screaming all this stuff. And the announcers in the booth are just sitting there going like, well, you know, Mike wasn't looking at the ball, so, I mean, I don't know. Mr. Barber's he's really annoyed, but, I mean, he was just doing his job. He's just doing his job, you know? There was no unnecessary roughness. Actually, there was back then, but you actually had to do something that was unnecessary. Now, you're doing the necessary shit it is to cover a fucking receiver, and they go, it's unnecessary. That's why one of the biggest bullshit records ever broken was Dan Marino's touchdown record by Peyton Manning. Remember that year when he cried because the fucking Patriots players actually covered his fucking receivers? They were trying too hard. And then next thing you know, you can't even touch these fucking guys, and he breaks Dan Marino's record. Dan Marino would have thrown 90 touchdowns if you couldn't touch Clayton and Duper. All right, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with the sports this week because I know people are like, I don't watch sports. I don't watch sports. And then when you talk about sports, I get bored. Well, you know something? Listen to another fucking podcast, all right, you whiny cunt. Go enjoy your fucking Labor Day on somebody else's podcast. Huh? How do you like that? Look at me getting all tough. All right, you guys want to... Oh, wait, real quick. My team is LSU. I think I'm going to go with LSU this year. There's something about that Les Miles. I just like the guy. 4th and 12, 2 minutes into the game, and he fucking goes for it. This is like a direct quote for him. They go, Les, why do you always go for it on 4th down? And he says, well, you know what? When you have playmakers on your team, you have an obligation to turn them loose. That might be one of the greatest quotes ever. I love this Southern fucking turn them loose. You got playmakers on your team, buddy. Okay? You following me? You have an obligation to turn them loose. Just turn them dogs loose. Just see what they come up with. Go out there, dig up the fucking first down. Greatest fucking fake field goal of all time. LSU. Look that up. LSU fake field goal. It's the smoothest shit you're ever going to see. Just flips it right over his goddamn shoulder. It was a thing of beauty. All right, here's some YouTube videos for you guys. If you're new to my podcast, this is what I do every week. I act like a fucking moron in my apartment. And people send me in these YouTube videos. I already gave you the Boxer Baby one and the LSU fake field goal. And this is just a creepy one. It's really quick, but it's really creepy. Look up animal recording fail. Animal recording fail. It's somebody filming an anaconda or some big-ass fucking snake. And evidently this snake was not ready for its close-up. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. And it'll make you jump. It'll fucking make you jump. All right. This is going to be a quick podcast. I'm already to the questions. I'm only 24 minutes in. You know what this feels like? This feels like when I'm fucking bombing on stage. And I know a lot of you guys out there are not comedians. Sure, we all aren't. And basically what happens is when you're having a great set, all right, say you're slated to do 50 minutes, okay? Somebody comes back and they say, hey, kid, can you give me 50 minutes? Can you go out there and give it the college try, right? And you fucking go out there and you start killing. And if you're killing, and if you're totally on, what ends up happening is you do 50 minutes and you feel like you only did half your act. You know? But on nights when you're bombing, you're about 2 jokes away from your closing bit and you look down at your watch and you're about 12 minutes into your set. And that's when the dry mouth sets in. And you're like... Okay, so what do you do for a living? Oh, yeah? Here's my cute little jokes about fucking plumbers. You know? Oh, that's the worst. I ever tell you about this on my first headlining gigs? This is basically how I became a headliner. First, I had to write the material. All right? And I had gotten up to... I knew I had 45 minutes, but I had never done 45 minutes. And when you headline or go on last or whatever the fuck you want to call it... on a real show as a headliner, you have to do at least 45 minutes. That's how it works. Okay? I don't know where the fuck you guys are from, but where I'm from, that's how it fucking works. You got to do 45 minutes. So I had been doing stand-up for about 3.5, 4 years, so I had written 45 minutes of material, but I had never done 45 minutes. You know what I mean? I was basically at that point, I was the feature actor, the second guy, so I was doing like anywhere from 20 minutes to 30 minutes at the most. Usually feature act does 20 to 25. 30 if you're working with like an old bitter headliner who's given into the fact that he's not going to make it, or maybe he just doesn't feel like doing it. You know? That's when you work with those guys. And they just come up to you and they're like... I worked with this guy one time and he looks at me and he goes, hey, kid, he goes, how much time you got? I'm like, I don't know, 30, 35. And he just goes, do all of it. He's just like, do your whole fucking act, play with the crowd. I don't give a shit. I'll fucking do 11 minutes and close this show. I've had it, right? So, anyways, yeah, so I'd written 45 minutes of material, and but I'd never done it all in a row, so I didn't know how to put it together. So when I moved down to New York, You know, the only way to start headlining is at some point you got to bite the bullet and just tell somebody that you're a headliner. You don't tell that to a good room. You tell it to, like, you know, you have A rooms, you have B rooms, you got C and D rooms. So for like the C and D rooms, I was like, I just told the guys, yeah, I'm a headliner. And they're looking at me. You know, I was just a kid. They're like, you're a headliner? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a headliner. You know, it's like when you're trying to get served when you're underage. You just try to have that look of confidence. Don't flinch. Just give them the money. I would like a vodka Collins. Yes, I would. Me and my one whisker on my chin would like to have some alcohol. Thank you very much. And the first time I headlined, I remember I went on after this black dude was on in front of me, and he was totally like high energy to begin with. And that's one of the first things you learn how to do as a headliner is how to follow somebody if they have high fucking energy, right? So this guy's doing his act, and you know, you know, he's been doing it for a long time, so he just keeps building with the energy, building and building and building. And he ended his act doing some jokes about like a prostate exam, and by the end, he's just screaming. And he's got his fucking finger up my motherfucking ass, just screaming into this mic, killing in this restaurant. And I'm sitting there, I'm already sweating, trying to think, how the fuck am I going to follow that guy? And I made the biggest fucking mistake you can ever do, is when somebody ends and they're on 11 with the energy, the worst fucking thing that you can do is to go on stage and start your act at the same energy that guy left off. First of all, you're not going to have enough energy. There's no way. You can't be on 10 for 45 fucking minutes. You're going to pass out. Okay? And not only that, it's bizarre to have someone just come out on stage. You know, please welcome Bill Burr. Just come out screaming. I sounded like that guy in the Tough Man thing. You know? You got to get psyched. You got to get pumped. I was coming out with like that kind of energy. So I went up there, and 8 minutes in, screaming my act, I am pouring sweat, and I remember looking down at my watch, feeling like I had done at least 25 minutes, and I had only done like 11 minutes, and I was out of breath from telling fucking jokes. And I just remember for some reason, there was a big fish tank in this place, and I was trying to riff about the fish tank, and it was a restaurant, and like, anybody order the fillet of fish? Because I think I know where they got it. It was awful. Oh, just fucking, you know what? I actually got a bad feeling just even thinking about that fucking set. So, if you are a comedian and you're listening to this and you're just starting to headline, if you follow somebody with energy, what you actually want to do is go in the opposite direction. That's what I learned, is you go up there and you just start really fucking slow and actually kind of eat your balls for, you know, just let everybody just bring it down. Everybody fucking relax. And then once you get them relaxed, then you start to build them up again. You know what I mean? It's just like doing drugs. You start coming down, but you know, once you go through the floor and you start feeling depression, you take another drug and you start coming back up again. That's where, right there, right as you go below the floorboards, that's when I grab you by the back of your fucking goddamn shirt and I pull you back up again comedically, and then we go back up again. But this is what ended up happening was I would do my jokes and I could kill for 37 minutes. And for some reason when I said 37 minutes, I just wrote it on my ottoman with my finger. I wrote 37 like the fucking Rain Man. Fucking weirdo. I really have a lot of Rain Man qualities. I don't know if you've noticed that, but like I can actually name everybody who's won the Super Bowl the last 43 years. And no, I don't have it in front of me, but I can do it. So if you ever see me, I'll fucking rattle them off. Rattle them off, and I'll have my head to the side just like the fucking Rain Man. And then if you want me to go back and name all the losers, I can fucking do that. And I was actually at one point wanted to memorize where all the Super Bowls took place. And that's when, right after I had that thought, I kind of caught myself in a mirror. And I was just like, what are you doing, Bill? What are you running from? You know? Because I'm just sitting there in the mirror going, Green Bay, Jets, Chiefs, Colts, Cowboys, Dolphins, Steelers. Yeah, Raiders, Cowboys. See, can I still do it? Steelers. And then Jim Plunkett with the fucking Raiders. Joe Montana. That was in Pontiac, Michigan. They beat the Bengals. And they stopped Pete Johnson right down on the goal line. And then the fucking Redskins, who I hated because I was a huge Cowboy fan. They beat the Dolphins. Was that Fulton Walker? Huh? Took that kickoff back? See, I remember all this shit. Then the Raiders kicked the shit out of the Redskins the next year. And then fucking 49ers beat the Dolphins. Remember that Sports Illustrated where Dan Marino was on the cover and he was pointing at him like, yeah, this is going to be the first one, right? With Joe Montana. Next year was the Bears, which should have been the greatest fucking Super Bowl ever. You know, I'm just going all sports this week. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. Do you remember that? The Bears went 15-1 in the regular season, okay? And the only team they lost to was the Dolphins on a Monday night. It was fucking awesome because the Dolphins basically defended the 72 Dolphins, you know, undefeated record by beating the fucking Bears. So, in the AFC Championship game that year, it was the Dolphins versus the Patriots, and we were playing them in the Orange Bowl, and we had this curse. We had never won in the Orange Bowl for like fucking, I don't know, like 20 goddamn years, okay? Since like Lyndon Johnson was in office, and the San Diego Chargers played in Los Angeles, okay? And the fucking Dolphins should have beat us, and then they should have gone to the Super Bowl, and then the Bears should have been set up to fucking avenge their one loss of the year, and then the Dolphins with Dan Marino and that unbelievable fucking offense was the only ones that was able to beat the 46 defense. And what fucking happens? Stupid-ass Patriots, we come in there and we beat them, right? And then, you know, with Squish the Fish. Remember that? Squish the Fish. And everybody in Miami was just like, oh, dolphins aren't a fish. They're a mammal. Hello. It was some of the gayest shit-talking ever during that time. And somebody had made a song in Boston. Remember that song by Pete Townsend, Face to Face? That face to face, got to face to face, something like that. Somebody wrote Squish the Fish to that song. Squish the fish, got to squish the fish. It was fucking horrific, but somehow I still actually watched the game. And then the Patriots got raped, I believe, is the best way to describe it, by the Bears, 46-10. Then the next year was the Giants, then the Redskins, then 49ers, and then was the Bills era, where they lost to the Giants, Redskins, Cowboys, then the 49ers, then the Cowboys, then the Packers, and then the Packers beat the fucking Patriots. I went to that game. Then the Broncos won the next two. Then the Rams. Then the Ravens. Stupid, that coach there. They have no idea how fast we are. Shut up, you clown. They beat the Giants. Then Patriots. Then Tampa. Patriots. Colts. Steelers. Giants. Steelers. Huh? You like that shit? Fucking Rain Man. What, do you want to go another sport? Name another sport. I'll fucking do it. I can go all the way back to like the early 70s. That's what I actually fucking sit there and I write that down on like napkins, cocktail napkins, when I'm on planes. Like that's how I make plane rides go by. Like right now, maybe you're on a plane listening to this shit. I actually sit there, Green Bay Jets. Yeah, definitely the Chiefs. I know I'm a fucking loser. All right, let's get to some of the questions here for the week. Jesus Christ, Nia. This is what happens when I'm doing my fucking podcast. Nia's always getting ready to go somewhere, and she comes out in all sorts of fucking different dress, and I'm not ready for it. You just look like you were going to go do one of those Sports Illustrated covers. Remember those ones where they wore the mesh bathing suit? Yeah, exactly. All right, let's plow ahead here. Questions of the week. All right, question number 1. Hey, Bill, I'm sure by now you've seen The Punch. Just wondering what your opinion was on it. Personally, I thought the Boise State player deserved it, and the expression on his face was priceless. Go Blue. All right, there's a Michigan fan. Or unless you're saying go Blue because of the fucking turf. Okay, how do I explain this shit? This is basically what happened. Boise State played Oregon, and I guess last year Boise State injured the quarterback on fucking... I was just picturing that dude from England getting all pissed. Listen to this shit, because I know he doesn't give a fuck about all this stuff. But I don't give a fuck that you don't watch this stuff. I'll talk about the Premier League next week. So anyways, somebody in Boise State injured the quarterback on Oregon. So the running back on Oregon said, we owe Boise State an ass whooping. So he was basically talking shit. So they play the game, and they held that guy who talked shit to -5 yards. So at the end of the game, they came up and they talked a little bit of shit. The guy gets in his face, It's probably like, oh, what are you going to say now, man? What are you going to say now? And then the dude looks away, and the dude who was getting yelled at just wound up, and he fucking dropped the guy. And then it just got ugly and ugly and ugly. What do I think about that? It was definitely funny. It's definitely funny to see whenever you see a guy get in somebody's face, talking a bunch of shit, and then the other guy just fucking winds up and drops him. It was definitely funny, but I thought that dude had it coming. If you're going to say, you got an ass whooping coming, if you're going to talk shit and then only get -5 yards, you got to understand that people are going to give you some shit back. And I got to be honest, man, I feel real bad for that guy because, he could have got drafted and now he got suspended. And that's one of those heat of the moment things where, I don't know, it's at some point, I mean, he might have just fucked his whole life up. Like now he won't get drafted, and then what do? You work at Best Buy? You could have got at least, even if you suck, you're going to get like 6-figure contract. Maybe for a couple of years you run around and play for the fucking Chiefs or some shit like that. I don't know. It was just really bad. It was fucking ugly. And then the fact that it was a black dude and he punches a white dude, then you go on the internet and everybody has to write some racist shit, which is one of the things I really can't stand about YouTube is all the racist on there. I really can't fucking stand that. I don't mind when someone writes some shit just to be a dick to annoy somebody, but like, the N-word is used pretty liberally on YouTube, and that's the one fucking thing. Somebody asked me that actually about my website, was saying like, why don't you have a page where people can, leave comments and stuff like that? And that's why I don't, because people end up arguing, and then invariably somebody writes something racist or something just really horrific, something about Jews or something, and then it's on my website. It's just, I don't condone that shit, and I just, I don't give a fuck. What I do the podcast. You want to write something? Send it to me, and I'll fucking read it on this. I don't know. Did I explain that? I feel bad for that guy. I feel bad for that dude because he just fucked his life up in one moment by punching the guy in the face. But you know something I don't like? I don't like when people sucker punch somebody and then they have like that, yeah, what fucking vibe. What do you mean, what? I wasn't looking at you when you punched me in the face. Yeah, I'm going to go down. There's really no skill level there. But in defense of that guy, if you do get in somebody's face and talk shit, what you do is that you do that little, that little gay backwards skip that fucking football players do. That's what you do while you look at the person. You don't say, you don't talk shit and then just fucking turn the other cheek like you're Jesus. Do you think Jesus ever got dropped with that whole fucking, Wait, did Jesus say that? Talk shit and then turn the other cheek? He didn't say that. He said if somebody slaps you, turn the other cheek so they can slap that side. What kind of a fucking, woe is me. That's why I'm not religious. I can't get behind that. Son of God, not son of God, prophet or whatever. That is just some dumb shit. Son, if somebody kicks you in the left ball, when your eyes stop watering and you can actually see your right ball, hold it out for him so he can kicketh that one. Go fuck yourself, you fucking hippie. You stupid ass sandals. He really was the original fucking dirty ass hippie, wasn't he? Wasn't Jesus that? All right, that should get some people sending me some emails. God help me if I ever get fucking famous and they start cutting up some of the goddamn shit on this podcast. I'm really going to be in trouble. All right, next question. Bill, did you ever, at some point in your early career, think about performing on a cruise ship? This guy has no idea how funny this question is. I'm not sure if you've ever taken a cruise before, but let me tell you, it's pretty fucking sweet. Okay, he says, it seems like you literally would be getting paid to go on vacation, get shit-faced daily, and flirt with some fine-ass trim. In between all that, if you could find the time on Tuesday and Thursday night to do your act for an hour in the main showroom, not to mention you're waking up in some of the sickest places in the Caribbean every other day. Let me know what you think. All right. Okay, amongst comedians, you are never further out of show business than when you do stand-up on a cruise ship. People who do stand-up on cruise ships, it's basically, I don't know. it's like there's two places where you go out to pasture as a performer. Vegas and cruise ships. Vegas isn't bad because you'll get like $1 million fucking, like that Danny Gans guy who just fucking passed away. Like that guy was making millions. He was making like 5-6 million a year. He doesn't have to be on the road. You let the crowd come to you. There's a lot to say about that shit. But when you're out on a cruise ship, I mean, first of all, let's just break this whole fucking thing down. It seems like you'd literally be getting paid to go on a vacation. Yeah, except you have to work. That's actually one of the classic things that club owners used to do when I was starting out to try and fuck you over, when they would try to book you down in Florida in like the wintertime, and they'd offer you like $80 for the week or some awful shit, and they'd be like, yeah, but you know, it's kind of like you're on vacation. It's kind of like a paid vacation. Yeah, except I have to work. Except for that working part, you fucking assholes. No. A cruise ship is an absolute fucking nightmare. Believe it or not, one of the first things you want to do as a performer the second the show is over is you want to get the fuck away from the crowd. You want to get away from the crowd. Because the only way to describe it is you ever get stuck in an elevator with some douchebag and you have to make this small talk conversation that you don't want to have? Imagine being stuck on a boat with fucking 1,000 of those people, because that's basically what it is. Now, I'm not trying to be unappreciative of people who come out to see the fucking show, but you know, I don't know. What do you do for a living? Okay, let's use the plumber analogy. Does that guy want to talk about fixing fucking toilets? How did you get into fixing toilet? Do you get nervous right before you have to fix the toilet? You know, it's awful. I did one cruise ship, and I actually I didn't get fired, but I was definitely not asked back. And the whole thing was a lie. I told them, first of all, I said that my act is not conducive to a cruise ship. I just don't see myself doing well on a cruise ship. And they were like, nah, you know, because people are old on cruise ships. And they're like, nah, this is a young, hip cruise ship. I already told this fucking story. And I got on there. There was that old Vietnamese woman passed out, missing all her fucking teeth up front. And I ate my balls the entire week. And the only people I made laugh was the band. You know, the captain wrote a letter saying how I was offensive to all fucking people. And cruise ships are a nightmare, sir. They're a fucking nightmare. And I don't know what cruise ship that you're taking, but all I know is that when I took a cruise ship, they would stop and you had basically 4 hours to see whatever the fuck you could see before you had to run back to the ship or they would leave without you. So it was a very stressful situation. And then other than that, you were just out on the water and it all looked the fucking same to me. Maybe I didn't take a good one. I mean, if I went to the Mediterranean and did a European cruise, I imagine that would be cool. But, you know, I don't want to go to Athens for fucking 3 hours. You know? And fucking sitting there running around trying to see all this shit, you know, in flip-flops and a fucking Hawaiian shirt, you know, dressed like Robin Williams before he does a goddamn special. It's a nightmare gig, sir. They definitely pay well, but it's a fucking nightmare. And you're out to sea. And I don't know, when I did them, they didn't even have internet access, so there was no way for your fucking agent to even get in contact with you if you did have a big audition. But even if you did have a big audition, it's not like you can fucking get off the boat, you know, call a fucking helicopter, you know. It's horrific. Anyways, let's plow ahead here. It's getting hot as fuck here in my apartment because I had to close the windows because I curse. What is this section here? Something I wasn't aware of. I don't even know what this is. Let me read this. The reason I'm writing you is I'm a huge college football fan, but I have to say that there is one trend that has emerged over the past decade that really bugs the shit out of me. Oh, this guy doesn't like the promos. Has any other football fans noted this? He said, why is it that every major football telecast kicks off with some redneck singing a theme song? I guess it started with Hank Williams Jr. Now, that's the only one I know that, are you ready for some football? It's a Monday night party. I fucking hate that. I don't like that one either, but I wasn't aware. He's saying they're doing it everywhere. He said it's gotten way out of hand. A few years ago, College Game Day employed its own country music band to sing the show's theme song. It's like the guy with the fiddle and the guy wearing the big top hat are supposed to be a little less white trash because they're joined by a black guy shouting out football audibles in the middle of the song. Wow, dude, that sounds fucking horrific. Yeah, This year, to top it all off, the day apparently isn't complete unless some other Appalachian with a 10-gallon hat sings the theme song for ABC's Game of the Week on Saturday night. Not to mention that during the actual game, the ACC has its own commercial with some other hick singing a theme song. At least that is somewhat understandable since the ACC is predominantly a Southern conference. Such a moron. All right, look, I get it. College football has a lot of fans in the southeast part of the country. Football, in general, attracts a large audience of white males between the ages of 25 to 40. I am one of those white males, and frankly, I am a little tired of my football viewing experience becoming intruded on by an assorted cast of characters from Hazard County. Sorry for the rant, but I had to get that off my chest, and frankly, my wife couldn't care less. Oh, dude, I'm in that boat. I know that. You start ranting to your girlfriend about some shit, and they just start glazing over like, yeah, I really don't care about sports. So, at any point, if you want to stop yelling at me, you're spitting on the side of my face, by the way. Yeah, dude, I got to admit, I haven't noticed that shit, but I'll tell you why, because I don't watch pregame or postgame. I don't. I just watch the games. I don't want to watch that part where people are like, I'll tell you, if I'm Terry Bradshaw, I got to be thinking, what's John Stallworth doing? I don't give a shit, And I don't listen to sports talk radio. All those people fucking freaking out, losing their minds. I mean, Oklahoma, they lost their starting quarterback. They'll put the second stringer in. Relax. That's why they have coaches. You don't have to worry about it, sir. The decisions will be made. All right, underrated, overrated for the week. Underrated, the television series Brotherhood. Dude, The Brotherhood was my show, and they actually canceled it. This is what this guy has to say about it. He says, the crime show on Showtime was recently canceled, was much better than the Sopranos. It had superior writing and acting. It also had a better place, and its characters were much more interesting. It could be that the whole Italian mafia thing is getting tired genre, but I got to go with Brotherhood as overall being a better show, although they were both good. Yeah, The Brotherhood is awesome, man. If you guys have a DVD store around you, what sucks is there's 2 awesome seasons, and they're really the cliffhanger that they left you with. It's basically based on the Billy and Whitey Bulger thing, where back in Massachusetts they had a really high-ranking politician whose brother was a really high-ranking gangster. And this is something else I think I already talked about on the podcast. Yeah, that was like the dynamic, and everyone would always be asking was Billy Bulger, I think, was the politician, and Whitey was the gangster. And they would always ask Billy, be like, what is your affiliation? He'd be like, dude, I don't have any affiliation with my brother. Massachusetts, my brother. I'm just trying to do the best job I can do for the taxpayers of Massachusetts, And the last thing that I remembered happening was the gangster actually won the state lottery. How fucking hilarious is that? So the show was based on that. Took place in Providence, Rhode Island. I highly, highly fucking recommend that you watch it. It sucks that there's only 2 seasons, but starts off a little slow. There's a lot of fucking, there's a lot of characters, but actually, at one point, I'm actually going to give away something. This is just sort of a little vignette that they had on the show. Is a Yankee fan comes into one of the Providence bars and starts talking shit to one of the hothead gangsters, and who's a Red Sox fan, and he fucking blows his brains out. And it was disturbing. It was disturbing. So definitely check that out. And that fucking guy was a great actor, and not to mention that, the guy who plays Freddie Cork is actually, believe it or not, because he's such a great fucking actor, is Kevin Chapman, who's a comedian that I started out with, and he was one of my favorite characters on TV. Tony V was in it, another great comedian from Boston. I'm so fucking pissed that they canceled that show, because that was my show, man. I love that show, so I got to go with you. Yeah, Brotherhood, definitely underrated. All right, overrated. This dude says the Black Eyed Peas. The sheer amount of times I've heard their new album, Against My Will, is staggering. The only people you'll catch listening to them are the lame-ass wannabe cool white people who have never heard of anything unless it was on the radio. Yeah, I know. They definitely play them in elevators. And if you go to Staples, I can't even think of their fucking music, but I can't stand... Did they do London Bridge? Or was that chick when she went solo? Oh, that was Fergie by herself? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what I actually discovered the other day? I have a lot of shit in my iPod that my girlfriend downloaded when her fucking computer was on the blink. And did I say on the blink? I don't even know what the fuck that means. When it was on the fritz, so she downloaded all this shit that I never would have listened to. So the other day, what was that song? Crazy? Who sings that song? Gnarls Barkley. She used to listen to that song, and I fucking hated it. With that dude singing in that falsetto. You know, but I actually listened to the lyrics. I actually like the song now. I was at the gym lifting weights listening to that song, and I've never felt gayer in my life. I got to wrap this up because that was embarrassing to even admit that. All right, I'm 53 minutes in. That's going to be the podcast this week. I know it was a little off this week, I think. But I'm coming down off a Tylenol PM. I had to do it. I had to drug myself up like fucking Michael Jackson so I could actually fall asleep by 2 at night. So I could wake up and actually try and do this thing at some point remotely near Monday morning. I hope you enjoyed this podcast this week. I hope you guys had a great Labor Day weekend. I apologize. I can't believe I deleted that rant that boxer was doing. It was fucking great. The coach, look out for him. He's a tough man, and evidently he's ready for more because he only started bleeding. He only started bleeding. All right, that's it. Please continue listening to the podcast. I'm going to be at the Helium Comedy Club this weekend in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Please come down to the show. And also, please join my mailing list. I never bring that up. I would like to get more people on my mailing list because MySpace is really dying a slow, pitiful death. I barely get any emails over there anymore. And I don't know where to go next because I imagine Facebook will take a nosedive, Twitter will take a nosedive, and this whole jumping around is driving me fucking nuts. I figured out how to blog here on my website, and I'm going to start blogging. I actually began one about Sweden that I will finish, and hopefully I'll get some new videos up there. But it's BillBurr.com. If you go on and you sign up, you just sign up for my mailing list underneath the city that you're closest to, and basically, I only send you emails if I'm coming to your town or if I'm going to be on TV. I'm not going to be one of these douchebags who every week gives you the Bill Burr update and then I become spam in your life. It's not going to be that way. But please sign up for it because my days on MySpace might be numbered because I don't know that there's anybody left. I'm really feeling like fucking Mad Max and I'm there looking for fuel. You know, it's just whores and people selling music. That's all that's left in me. You know, tumbleweeds over there, people. All right, that's it. That's the podcast for this week. Please tune in next week. Wait a second. Did you want to chime in with something, Nia?
Well, I'm just surprised you didn't talk about Tila Tequila being choked by that football player.
Oh, that's right. Sean Merriman choked out Tila Tequila. You know,
Well, she's a whore anyway. She probably deserved it.
Exactly.
Oh, you fucking asshole.
What do you, Nia? It's a podcast. I got to make it funny. I don't like how you actually have my voice down, like you actually know what I'm going to say. No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, before I was so rudely interrupted, with your completely offensive. I don't like how, you know, have you noticed that with women, whenever they do an impression of their boyfriend, they always have to go, before they say anything? I wanted to go to a restaurant. You know, my boyfriend said he was going to take me. And I was like, so we going to go to the restaurant? And he's all, I want to watch a football game. I know, my impression of you is really bad. It is bad. Do you want to go to a party this weekend, my girlfriend's?
Old Ben Roethlisberger. Well, was that a while ago though? When he
What, Ben Roethlisberger? That was a cash grab. He raped me, Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, do you feel like the whole Michael Vick thing with the dogs got?
Why don't you come over here near the microphone if you're actually going to come in here and hijack it?
All right.
Here's my lovely girlfriend, Nia, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, let me just do this as like an interview, like a little Dick Cavett thing. What was your question here?
My question was in regards to the football player who allegedly choked out Tila Tequila. And other.
Why are you being so official? The question that I had this afternoon, and first of all, I just want to say I love the show, and I'm really
Long-time listener, first-time caller. No, but do you think? Because I feel like, and I guess we'll see.
Please get to the point, ma'am.
Well, we'll see how the story develops. But like, do you feel like the Michael Vick thing got more attention than when athletes have like sort of like these abuse charges? Putting aside,
First of all, Sean Merriman didn't have like 40 MySpace whores hung from trees that he was electrocuting and drowning. Okay, he choked out one dumb whore with fake tits, a bisexual whore at that. And I have to say that I fucking hate the San Diego Chargers, but my hatred went down a little bit knowing that he slapped her on Tila Tequila. That's just funny. If she was just, a regular, girl from Hooters whose dad didn't stick around, so she felt the need to dress around scantily clad and try to get guys' attention. You want to see my clam? If she was one of those people.
Do you think that's what women say?
Huh?
Do you think that's what women say?
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this right now, and I might get in trouble here as I wade into these dangerous waters.
Women don't say clam. They don't refer to it as a clam. So.
How would you know that?
Because I'm a woman, you asshole.
Well, first of all.
I'm done with this podcast.
Oh, you're storming out? You're gonna take off your little lapel mic and just walk out?
I'm done.
All right. Obviously, I know they don't do that. Get back here. You can't just leave like that. No, they don't say I'm going to show you my clam. But I will tell you this. When women get fake tits, they will show you them like they got their nails done. Because obviously it was a very insecure part of their body. So now they have it, and they will. It's so easy to even be able to touch them. You just, all you got to do is like what their big paranoia is now that they have them, they want you to tell them that they feel real. So all you got to do is just be like, well, they look really natural. Do you feel like they feel? Oh, yeah, here. And they just grab your hand. For some reason, because their hand is on your hand, they don't feel like you're actually feeling them up.
I felt a fake boob before.
You felt a fake boob before?
Yeah,
Okay.
A girl that I used to work with had fake boobs, and she was just talking about it. I guess, like, sometimes they do. And I was like, oh, really? And she was like, yeah, feel them. They felt real.
Yeah, see, well, there you go.
Nice, actually. Like, nice. I haven't really felt a lot of boobs, but...
Well, when you say nice, what are they?
They were
Felt like a bag of sand.
they just felt full and nice and just buxomy and soft, like a woman.
Really?
I came in here to talk about...
No, I'm getting turned on by this. This is really, I got to tell you, I got a lot of creeps who listen to this, so they're probably touching themselves right now.
I know.
They drive trucks. Well, help them out a little. No, I'm not going to whore out my girlfriend on my own podcast. You're a good girl, right? Say it.
I'm a...
Wait a minute. This is what you do at the office? You go around filling up girls with fake tits?
I was at the office.
Where was it? When you were at fucking in Bill Haley's swimming pool down the street? I can never remember people's names. What's the name of the fucking guy who has Playboy? Hector Camacho? What's his name?
Hugh Hefner?
Hugh Hefner. I knew there was an H.
Who's Hector Camacho?
I know, I'm brutal. That's one of the long. Hector Camacho was a boxer. That's one of the long standing jokes in our relationship. Is how this is what happens. Is I can never remember famous people's names, so I just whatever the first name that comes to my mind, or the names of movies. Like remember when I called that movie The Last Days of Dracula? What was the name? What was that movie? Interview with the Vampire. I called it The Last Days of Dracula. That was a classic. We have a lot of fun out here, don't we?
It was at the gym.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up the podcast. Look how cute Cleo is over there with her ears down.
Baby.
Yeah, she's a cutie. All right, that's it. That's it for the podcast. You got a little bonus interview. And that's it. I want to thank once again everybody who came out in Sweden. I'm definitely going to come back. They're already talking about bringing me back there. And everybody in Philly, I wrote a new hour. I'm going to be there. Please sign up for my website. And if there's girls out there with fake tits, I'm telling you, you don't have to ask too many questions, and they'll fight. There's actually a good chance they'll take them out. If you're in like a ground round, one of those kinds of restaurants. Remember that restaurant where it was like, I don't know how they didn't get shut down by the health department with all those crushed peanut shells on the floor. You walk into a barbershop, they got to sweep up the hair. How about you sweep up the peanuts, you fucking disgusting cunts? All right, have a good week. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.